Hello everybody and welcome. Today we are going to take a look at the Nixon Quatro. This is the packaging that it comes in. You have the picture of your watch. Mine is the all gold version. You have your Nixon up here, branding there. This slides off, big logo. Again, there's your Nixon. There's a tab back here you push, and this whole thing slides right out. And there we have the watch. Nixon the Quatro. Now in here, there are the extra links, manual and extra links. Nice little packaging. And then the watch comes on this little plastic holder right here. Now let's get into the watch. This is the Nixon Quatro, or the Quatro as it says on the back. It's of the full throttle series. As you can see, it's a rather unique looking watch. You have your square dial, which is something you don't see in a lot of watches, and the band starts out almost the same size as the case and then barely tapers down to this clasp over here, the dual deployment clasp. Pretty basic clasp. It's a very unique looking watch. On the face you can see that patterning where you have the matte and brushed alternating squares. And it's a pretty minimalistic look as well. You have your basic 3 hands and then just your little golden ticks. The crown is not a screw down crown. This is not a dive watch. It does have a nice little logo on the side. Feels very good in the hand. It's got a good heft to it, but it's not too heavy. You won't notice it too much on your wrist. The one thing I really like with this watch is this band design. You'll see that it looks as if these are just kind of sit next to each other. It doesn't have your usual, links interlocking with the pins that go on the side. If you look on the side here, you have a panel in between each of these, which makes it so you can't bend it back any further, and it gives it that really unique look that I really enjoy. And this can be considered a negative because it does make it rather difficult to adjust, but with a little bit of practice, or you can take it into a dealer and they'll take care of it for you. Now Nixon, as far as a brand goes, is not an overly impressive horological standpoint, which doesn't really mean a lot to a lot of people. And what I mean by horological is just, it doesn't have that heritage, it doesn't have the handmade movements, it doesn't have a lot of stuff that your expensive watches has, and I consider it more of a fashion brand. They look amazing, I mean, they'll work just fine, and they're sold in places like Zumiez, Hot Topic, those type of stores, and which is something I love. It's not a negative at all for me, but it is just something to be aware of. This one has a Japanese quartz movement. I've had it for almost a year now, and it's stayed completely accurate. I mean, quartzes are obviously very accurate. It's just, you can see on the back you have that gorgeous branding there. It is 100-meter water resistant, though with a fashion brand I don't know how much I would trust that. I haven't taken this into the water and I don't really plan to. It's just solid stainless steel. A pretty basic watch, honestly, other than the fact that it looks really, really unique. You can buy this watch retail for $150. We'll go ahead and put it on the wrist, give you kind of a shot of that. There you go. It's about a medium-sized watch. I mean, I've definitely worn larger and I've definitely worn smaller. If you want to get the actual measurements, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And because it's a square case, obviously this way and this way it's going to be the same. Go ahead and measure that out. Looks like width and height, we're looking at 36 millimeters, a little bit smaller than the watches I normally wear. Your band starts at, it looks like 28, and then tapers down to, at the clasp, 25. So overall, it's a pretty uniform shape. I mean, you don't have a lot of variation, which I think looks really nice when you put it on the wrist. It's not so much, a dial and then your band. It's kind of flows all as one piece, which is a very unique and interesting look, which I really, really enjoy. It's also very, very thin height. I believe it's 11 millimeters. I measured that earlier. Very nice watch, very nice. And I have to say, the most comfortable wearing watch that I've ever worn. And it has the way that it's designed with these links. If you can look on the inside, you can see that each of these little spots is almost like folded. So it kind of tapers over your wrist when you close it, which makes it very comfortable. And because it's all the same size, you don't have a bulbous dial running onto you. The clasp feels great, and honestly, this is a really decent clasp. I mean, a lot of watches, they kind of cheap out on the clasps just because, You know, you don't see it, and it's not a huge deal, and so they make this out of just like trash metal, but this one actually feels very decent. I don't feel like it's gonna pop or anything. You've got that really nice branding, Nixon. It's a good brand. I definitely like it. I have my eye on another Nixon that I think I might get here in a little bit. Very nice watch. Definitely worth the money. And this also comes in several different color schemes. There's like an all black, there's a gunmetal, there's a silver version. There's even one with a green dial and a stainless steel look. I mean, you can, and the price ranges kind of changed. The all gold version, this one is 150, but you can get the base versions for right around 60. So really, it's a pretty cheap watch, especially for the style and the fashion that you're getting. Looks absolutely phenomenal on the wrist and feels amazing. Definitely worth your money. Go ahead and check it out. If you want to get a more detailed review, go ahead and click on the link in the description and you can read that. Thanks so much for watching and have a good day.